Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast with your host, Chris. I am that guy. I'm Chris, as always. Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two. This is episode number 172, and I got a great guest lined up for this episode. I like how I make it like it's a mystery, even though you click on the link and you see who the actor is, or the guest, I should say. And today it's an actor, so, as always, I would love to talk about my other podcast, Sunday Brunch, that I do with Megan Johnson of tipsywriter.com. And it's always such a blast to do that podcast every week. It comes out every Sunday. Head on over to Secret Stage Productions or look for it on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and YouTube. And you know what? If you're like, I like that Sunday Brunch, I want to listen to Casting for Two because, half of it does stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. I really don't. If you guys would like to leave this show a comment, you can do that, again, the normal places. Apple, iTunes, Google Play Music, and Stitcher. Just leave me some love. But I should get into my guest for today. My guest is a wonderful actor, Mr. Martinez. His name's Martinez. And it was such a great time chatting with him. He can be seen on The Walking Dead currently going on right now. And he's so many great stories that I have yet to explore. So I got to have him back on. And we'll have story time with Martinez. It'll be great. But yeah, I feel like I should stop talking. Let's get into this episode, all right? I want to listen to this episode. So sit back, relax, and Chris, cue the music, please. So, how's your morning going?
Morning is amazing, man.
Normally, I'm very curious when I talk to people, especially actors. What's your sleep schedule like? Exactly.
That's a great question. Yeah, normally I'm averaging I'd say 4 to 6 hours a night.
Okay.
That would be a pretty realistic detail of how much sleep I'm getting in a given day. Every once in a while, like on a good weekend, I'll get to splurge, and like maybe one weekend a month, I'll get like a nice 10-hour day in.
There we go. And so this is a very loose show. Where I like to just chat about anything and everything. But one of the things I like to know about actors is when they got the acting bug.
Yeah, that started for me. It's kind of like a $20 bet my freshman year of pre-law. I was going to school at Stetson University, and this literally just a couple of months before the summer after I graduated high school, because I had to take a drama elective to graduate. After I graduated, the drama teacher asked me to do the show. I did it, and I ended up getting a pre-law. There was this group of guys egging me on to audition for this play, and they were like, oh, there was this group of seniors, these 4 seniors, but they all came in as freshmen and took over the program, and nobody gets in the show but them. And I'm like, oh man, this drama crap, that's easy. I just did a play a couple of months ago. I used to be incredibly cocky back in the day, and so they bet me $20 that I couldn't get cast in the show. So I auditioned for the show. I got cast in it. Before that show ended, literally 3 days before the next show began, got cast. The rehearsals for the next show got cast in that one. And then that was it. I knew right then and there that is what I had to do for the rest of my life. So came back home to Jacksonville and told my mom, I was like, hey, I know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to be an actor. And she's like, why are you here in the middle of the semester? Like, what's going on? So a few months later, I ended up auditioning for Boston University's BFA Conservatory program. Got accepted into that, and the rest is history, as they say.
There you go. And were your parents very supportive of your decision?
I am second generation American. My mother's Dominican, my father's Puerto Rican, and so getting a college degree and becoming like a lawyer or doctor is something that was very, very, very important.
Right.
To my mother especially. I literally, since a kid, had been groomed to be going to law school. So that was the path that I was on. And they, obviously would have preferred, I think, that I had gone into that, and not because I don't think they, care for the arts or don't like the arts, because obviously they all watch TV and movies, but as a parent, you have a child, you don't want them to suffer. You want to make sure that, they have a good life where they can, provide for themselves and their family. And, with our situation growing up, that was something that was very important to my family and my mother. And I think that's where her, mindset was at, is just going to, protect her child. So it was a little bit different, but once I got into Boston University, she, we had a nice, beautiful chat where she's like, I know you're very talented and I know you're going to be successful, but at the end of the day, I just don't want you to have to suffer the way anybody, in our family's ever had to suffer. So, it's very supportive in that way, for sure.
Oh, right on. And yeah, it makes sense because, I mean, the couple times I've been to jury duty and seen the lawyers, they're very thematic the way they do things. Well, at least this one lawyer did. And I was sitting there watching him, and I was just like, you know what? Lawyers probably would make really good actors.
I do not doubt that. I mean, there's definitely a lot of, convincing, persuading, laying out facts, and, trying to make other people see things in your way. So those skills can definitely translate to make a good actor.
There you go. And so what was the first project you got that you were just like, okay, this everything's coming together?
It was a little bit deceptive.
Okay.
I thought back in 2013, I had a really nice string of some good recurring roles and some guest stars. Recurred on Grey's Anatomy, Days of Our Lives, Young and the Restless, CSI New York was on the 150th episode. So I thought a lot of things were coming together then. But as anyone in this business will tell you, it's really feast or famine. So things will go. You'll either be working all the time constantly, and then you just go through your drop periods where you're not working at all. You can't catch a cold in this business, so to speak.
Right.
So there was that time, and hopefully now again, this is a really great time, especially with Walking Dead and Dead Exit, which is a comic that I'm in that they're trying to turn into a series as well. So things are looking really good right now. So I'm really happy and positive, and just excited about all the stuff that's happening.
Nice. Well, I would love to talk about Walking Dead, but I would like to start out. I know you can't give any spoilers, which is great because I hate spoilers. I don't want any spoilers, but I got to ask, when you get the scripts, are they just your scenes or is it the entire episode?
Oh, yeah, no, I do not get the whole scripts. It's just my scenes.
Okay.
And sometimes what we're shooting for the day, more honestly. So it's interesting because I remember having conversations with certain actors, and I had planned things a certain way, or I saw things a certain way in my mind, and then I hear the actors talking about it, and they're like, oh, well, when this happens in the script, and I'm like, wait, that happens? Oh, shoot, that means everything I'm doing is wrong. So that makes it really interesting to be able to work that way, because you want to be able to have all the information in the backstory as an actor to be able to create the character and make sure what you're doing fits cohesively into the storytelling of what they're doing, rather than looking like, why is that actor like in a totally different TV show than everybody else around?
Right. No, I mean it makes sense to kind of keep you guys out of the loop, just because something will happen and you get the appropriate response, like, oh, that happened, what, where was I? Oh, you were in the
oh, you were in the room next door, you heard the whole thing.
Right.
Like, oh shoot. Let me not act so surprised.
And what is one of the best things about working on The Walking Dead?
Oh man, I mean, one of the best things about it was just how incredible the entire cast and crew are. I mean, someone like, for example, Andrew Lincoln, who has such an amazing paternal instinct. That character he plays on the show, where he cares and loves everyone so much. I mean, that's who he is on set. I mean, he genuinely cares about all the actors, all the crew members on that set, watching him go through his process, watching all the actors go through their process. I was like a little thief this season, just stealing all these great acting things from so many people. Andrew Lincoln, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Josh McDermott. I mean, just keep wanting to call him Daryl. Norman Reedus. I'm a huge fan of the show, so I always use them by their character names first. So it was just that's just one of the most incredible things to be around, to see. I've never worked on a show before where everyone was such a close-knit family together, and that was the most incredible thing I think I've ever seen of any show I've worked on. And I've been blessed. I mean, I've had a lot of incredible experiences, but to see the level of caring and family and trust and love that everyone on the set had for each other was just something that blew me away. It really actually reminded me more of even my old days in theater back in the days, as opposed to anything I've ever done in TV and film. So that was really special.
Okay, now I got to ask you, I let's say it's all good, but is there one thing that, whether it be the hours or something, that you're just you kind of dislike?
Not on this show. I mean,
there we go.
Like I am such a fan of this show. I mean, honestly, I mean, this is the first time I've ever been on a show that at the time that it was on was my absolute most favorite show on television. So I was kind of like geeking out a lot, to be honest. But no, I mean, there's well, I can't talk about that. There was one situation that was a little bit physically uncomfortable, that is toward the end of the season. But, I mean, just everyone on the crew was just so accommodating and so helpful, and just bending over backwards to go out of their way to make sure that I was comfortable and okay. That, I mean, there's nothing, even if I was to nitpick, that I could gripe about. I mean, I would spend 20 hours a day on that set. So, it's just a master class every time you're on the set, between learning from the actors, watching, the directors and the producers interact with each other. I mean, I was completely spellbound, by this entire process.
Nice. Now, going through your IMDb, and you mentioned it earlier, how you just kind of had a huge chunk of recurring roles and stuff like that. Is there one role out there, or one type of genre, that you would love to be in?
Yeah, I really, really want to do action comedies. Those are like my two favorite genres. I love comedy and I love action movies, and like movies like Tropic Thunder. If I could do stuff like that for the rest of my career, I know it's not the highbrow answer that a lot of my acting compatriots would like to see, but I'm into it. I love it. I mean, I'd be satisfied with doing something on WWE, to be honest. Except I think I lack all the physical ability for it.
Right on. Yeah, no, because I don't know why, but I've been going back and watching the Rush Hour movies, and
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is just a great movie. Why don't they make them like this anymore? That's what I say.
Yeah. And Jackie Chan is amazing. I mean, Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, that combination. And watching Justin Hires, by the way, in the new show, he was really great in it, you know. I really enjoyed it while it was on. But yeah, I mean, that type of genre, to be able to, you know, to mix the hard-hitting action and the great fight scenes and the explosions with just those great little comic timing moments, man. That's what I love. Shaun of the Dead and
Oh yeah,
you know, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and they do great work with that.
yeah. Now, I would love to know if you have any bad audition stories.
Yeah.
Everyone
Got a
does.
whole bunch of those. I got a ton of those, man. I think probably my favorite worst audition story was the first time I auditioned for Juilliard.
Okay.
Before I got into Boston University, just a couple of weeks before I auditioned for BU, I had my Juilliard audition, and me and my buddy fly to Chicago. We were going to have this great time. I'm wearing my outfit. I have this great Shakespearean monologue that I pieced together from Much Ado About Nothing. I walk into the audition room early in the morning, and oh my God, there must have been like 100 kids in this room. And as soon as you walk into the door of the holding room, there is a nervous energy that has such a density, a physical density to it, that as soon as you walk in the room, it's like stepping off the plane in Florida and Louisiana and feeling that humidity for the first time. It's just a whack, hits you right in the face.
Yeah.
And everyone is stressed out because everyone at the time, they're like, you know, 16, 17, 18, this is the most important audition of my life. This is going to make a, you know, so everybody's stressed out to death. And I get in the room, I'm freaking out, totally nervous. And I just remember looking at him going, I'm sorry, I'm really uncomfortable now. Can I take off my pants right now? Because I had basketball shorts underneath the dress pants that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
So I take off my pants in the middle of this audition. And I'm wearing like a really nice dress shirt, you know, basketball shorts, trying to do I'm leaving you at the altar Shakespearean, you know, tragedy speech. And It was just awful. You know, I was reaching for everything, pushing for everything, forcing every single moment, and it was just awful. And Mr. Khan had this look on his face where he was just so sadly sympathetic, and he's like, you know, I can tell that underneath all of this crap that there is probably a really good actor there, but it just wasn't your day-to-day. Come back and see us next year.
Yeah.
And I get back to the hotel room. As soon as I go into the hotel room, my buddy pops a bottle of champagne. He's like, congratulations. Oh, shoot, that look on your face. No, you know, awful. So we get on the plane. We're heading back to Florida. And I just remember thinking on the flight, looking at the clouds, 30,000 feet, I was like, wow, you know, if this is the worst audition I ever had in my life, and this was a pretty horrible audition,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have a pretty good career.
Yeah.
So, like, that epiphany kind of just hit in. It's like, if that's the worst one and I got it out of the way now at like 18, then I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, so
All right.
so that's one story.
Well, Martinez, I would like, for the people at home who'd like to keep up with you and the projects you do, where can they do that?
Best way to keep up with me is on Twitter at Actor Martinez. And that is on IMDb, imdb.me/Martinez. Those are the best ways to keep up with what I got going on and what's doing.
Martinez, you can come back whenever you like, all right?
I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you so much for having me on, man. It was a blast. I really appreciate it.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Now you go on and, I don't know, enjoy your day, get some sleep. I don't know.
I'm going to eat my breakfast right about
Yeah, okay,
now.
eat your breakfast. There you go. All right, go get some food.
Awesome, Chris. You have an amazing day, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.